What's up, YouTube? Eugene here. Good to see you again. Today we've got Galop from Hermes, and it's really hard to believe that this is a 2016 year release. Going on 5 years, or going on 6 years almost. Like, where does the time fly? So it's been, almost 6 years since Christine Nagel's been at the helm of Hermes, and we've lost our hero, Jean-Claude Elena. Come back to us, Jean-Claude. Anywhere. Go to Dior. I don't care. But I think this was one of her earliest releases. This or Twilly, or it could have been Terre not Eau Très Fresh, Intense Vetiver, something or other. I don't know, but this was very early on when she started. So, she came out with guns a-blazing, and I thought, oh wow, I could get used to this. This is a groundbreaking perfume, especially for something released in mainstream designer line, easily accessible, and put out amongst basically trash. What we're seeing in department stores today is trash. So it's really nice and comforting to see something like this released amongst all that. I think it's very daring and ballsy to put something like this out. Why? Because it's dirty, it's animalic, and it's a theme that we don't see played out amongst, mainstream media. What is Galop? Well, Galop is a rose leather perfume. I originally thought this was a woody floral musk, but the more I got to know it, I'll be damned if this is not a modern chypre. And it's, not far from what we saw yesterday when we spoke about Guerlain Derby. It doesn't smell anything like Derby, but has a lot of similar themes to it, and we're going to get into that. Let me put a little bit on skin, and this is, this is damn good. This is a damn good perfume. So right off the top, so the notes are for this is quince, saffron, rose, leather, musk. I believe there's a patchouli in here, unlisted patchouli. I don't know, I get patchouli everywhere. I get a lot of moss in the dry down, kind of sparkly, but right off the top, you'd almost sense or get the feeling that there's a smoky resinous thing going on. But I think it's a combination or a contrast of the saffron, the spicy saffron, and the quince, which is in the pear family, or related to the pear, which is, it's bitter, it's tart, it's sour, and it's fruity. So, those two combined give it this resinous, metallic feel. I get a lot of metallic from this perfume, which I'm not huge on metallics, and I don't want to say I hate metallic perfume. Hate is a strong word, but I strongly dislike them, especially in things like Platinum Egoist. But I don't know if it's just kind of seeing the bottle, the color of this bottle, and look at that artwork. This is a masterpiece in itself, this packaging, which is inspired by a stirrup, Equestrian stirrup. So Hermes's love of horses. Actually, the whole perfume is inspired by, the theme of horses. So we know, going back and from the beginning of Hermes time, they've always had horses involved in their branding. We see it in their main logo, and we've seen it in other perfumes when not Equipage, Rocabar. When Rocabar was first released in vintage form, the bottle came wrapped up in a mini horse blanket. So they kind of got this horse theme going on, and I can definitely see the theme continuing in this perfume when I wear it. So I do get that metallic vibe, and I'm not sure if I'm being, kind of just falling into the subconscious and recalling the color of this, but it does have this mirror reflection to it. It does have a lot of a play on light and shadows, and a lot of that's coming from the spice and the quince and the tartness and all that. But it almost has this outer spacey alien futuristic vibe to it, which I think is really fascinating because I've never really quite seen anything like this. So there's a rose and a leather theme going on here, and I don't get a really a picture perfect rose, like, you know, the stem, the leaves, the roots, the petals. I do get mostly petals, like a soft rose petal, more of a rose absolute than, you know, a painting of a rose. But leather, all right, this is obviously to me a horse themed leather, so a saddle leather. And I also get lots of references to stables, to dirt. I get a huge dirty vibe to this, almost a challenging dirtiness, which is really, this is the fascinating part, is to do something like this in the mainstream perfume. You know, we need to acknowledge that and respond, because this type of thing doesn't get done very often. So I applaud Hermes largely for something like this. You know, so I do get elements of dirt, of hooves, of, you know, any kind of things that you'd normally find in a horse stable. Yeah, and then in the dry down, this really dries down very mossy to me. Very, you know, I think Chypre. I think I get the elements of patchouli. I get that scratchiness. I get that contrast. I get that, you know, the contrast of moss and woods and the sparkles of light. It's really fascinating. To me, it's a Chypre, like a very modern Chypre, not a traditional, but very modern perfume, but a very well done modern fragrance. And I get asked a lot in my videos or in the comments or by people, like, why do you like to smell like poop? And I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. Like, my answer is just simply like, why don't you? I don't know. Like, you're the one putting a judgment on it. Like, it's just the smell of poop. Now, is it good or bad? That's, you know, that's up to you. That's how you perceive things. I don't know. My response is, why do you like to smell like Windex? Or why do you like to smell like shampoo or laundry detergent or toilet scrub? I don't know. We all have our preferences. I find this much more closer to nature, you know, poop, horses, that sort of thing. And we are nature's greatest form, so we produce the exact same things. You know, shampoo, dishwash soap, detergent, it's all very chemically to me. I have no interest in smelling like that. So I'd much more smell like this, which does challenge it does challenge me, and I accept those challenges, and I go into those challenges, and as a fragrance enthusiast, I hope to discover you know, more about myself in these challenges. Maybe sitting in the uncomfort of poop will eventually make me comfortable, allowing myself to expand as an enthusiast. I don't know, just a simple answer for you. But I think this was released for women, and when I smell it, I don't really picture man or women. I just smell horse. I smell roses, I smell horse, and I smell mosses and woods and reflections of light, metallic vibes, UFOs, aliens, that sort of thing. Not really aliens. I don't see aliens. I just see outer space, like reflecting mirror out into the outer space. Really weird, really strange, but in a really well done way, which I can appreciate. I don't know. Going forward, I know, you know, Christine Nagel's last couple of releases for me have been, you know, like hit or miss. I don't know. I'd like to see more Galop, less Twilly, less of that bubblegum thing that she's doing. You know, I would much more appreciate something like this than all of that combined. But I don't know. Twilly. I mean, Galop. Sorry. Look at that packaging. It's brilliant. It's beautiful. It's, you know, it's literally a work of art, and this needs to be recognized. And 50 ml Pure Parfum. This is an extrait, Pure Parfum, and it wears like an extrait. Not like a lot of things that are called extraits. So this really wears like an extrait. It's thick and it's close to the skin, which I like. I like this. I love this. I love this perfume. Oh, yes, one of my viewers, or maybe several of my viewers, consistently bring up the comparison of Galop and Frederic Malle's Jean-Claude Elena, Rose, and Cuir. And they're asking, do you notice similarities? And I'll be damned, you know, I've personally never been able to, or not never been, but I've never made that comparison myself. I've never said, oh, wait. But, I mean, if somebody's saying it, obviously they're getting it. To me, they're very different perfumes. Even though I believe Jean-Claude Elena was still with Hermes, you know, he was still around while they were developing this, so he had a lot of insight. I don't see many similarities. Rose, they're both a play on rose and leather. I don't get much salt from this, even though it is wildly animalic, dirty, much more dirtier than this. I get a lot of salty Cuir from Rose and Cuir. I think I get way more rose in here than here. Here it's a geranium, a bourbon geranium replicating rose, but I really believe there's probably a rose absolute in this one. Metallic and green. I don't know, like, you know, they both reflect a lot of light. They're both, you know, a play on light and shadows, but that's as far as I would take the comparison. You know, I personally, I don't see it, and I fail to see it. Now, however, do I have a preference? Man, that's hard because I love both, and I don't. I think I'm a little bit biased, obviously, to Frederic Malle and Jean-Claude Elena, but Galop is brilliant. So I think my preference is whichever I happen to be wearing that day. That's all I'm going to say. As of right now, I don't know. Even though I'm a little bit biased to this, I think I prefer this slightly. I'll say that. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, Galop, not really a comparison video, and Rose and Cuir. If you're familiar with Galop, let us know your thoughts. Tell us what you think about Galop. Have you tried it? Always love reading your comments. I love seeing your faces. Let us know if you get the comparison to Rose and Cuir. Thanks for watching this video. Share this video, please, and thank you. I see some of you are starting to share my videos. I personally don't share my videos. I don't know why, but I don't. So this is a great space for fragrance enthusiasts. Let them know that we're here. Share them, invite your friends, and thank you for watching. We'll see you all again hopefully soon. Ciao.